Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the next update for my project Apocalypse. I am doing this project this year where I want to focus on my single eyeshadows, and in this project I have a magnetic palette. I'm using my Cliona small magnetic palette right here, and I have this one filled up with singles that I'm currently trying to use 10 times each. So this is what my palette looks like now, and my goal is to reach for every single shade in here 10 times, and once I've done that I replace it and I pull in something new. So I'm going to cover how I'm doing with all of these eyeshadows and just where I am today and if I'm going to replace any of the eyeshadows. But before I jump into that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So I'm going to go through each eyeshadow in order, and the first one I'm going to talk about is the first one in the palette right here, which is Lightspeed from Terra Moons. This one is like a yellow with a blue purpley kind of shift to it, and so far I've used this one twice. I rolled this one in last month, so those two uses are both from this past month, but that is staying in the project. Second up we have this eyeshadow here, which is the Shadow Sunlight from the Pastel Roses, and this one I have been in for 2 months now. The first month I reached for it 3 times, and I'm happy to say that I reached for Sunlight 7 additional times in the past month, and I have now hit my goal on it. This one is like kind of mustardy, sandy kind of yellow, and then it has like a really green, like a really nice green shift to it, and it also goes into a pink shift. I don't know if you can pick it up at all. I really did like this one. It works well as a topper and on its own as well, but it is a bit more sheer. But yeah, this one will be rolling out and I will be replacing it with a new eyeshadow. Next to that we have another eyeshadow from the Pastel Roses, which is this shadow here. This one has also been in for 2 months now, and that is the eyeshadow Galaxy Dust, which is this kind of, it's like a purple, and front on is a very kind of pink tone purple, but it does also have a cooler purple shift as well as like almost a green shift, and it's really stunning. And again, it's a bit more sheer, and it's not my favorite eyeshadow from the Pastel Roses, but I still do like it. This one, like I said, has been in for 2 months, and I have reached for it twice each month for a total of 4 uses, so that one is another one that is staying in. Before we move on to the Cliona eyeshadows here on the side, I'm going to go on to the second row. And first up we have a Terra Moons eyeshadow right here, which is the shade Sublunar. This is an iridescent eyeshadow and it's very flaky. It's definitely not my favorite formula from Terra Moons, and since it is so flaky, it was really hard to use on the inner corner. I feel like this one would be better as a topper eyeshadow rather than an inner corner shade. I have reached for this one 4 times in the first month, and I did reach for it an additional 6 times in the past month for a total of 10, so this is another one that will be rolling out. Yeah, so this one, like I said, it's not my favorite formula from Terra Moons at all. This is one of those like super duper flaky ones that I feel like a couple of people have talked about, but the shift in here is nice. It's a very kind of fiery iridescent. It has like pink, orange kind of as the main shift, and then it goes into like a green and like a gold as well, and yeah, it's a stunning eyeshadow. It's just a bit harder to work with, but I was happy to play around with it more and get to know it. Then next to that we have another Terra Moons eyeshadow right here, which is Flare Star. This one I rolled in last month, and I have used this one twice. It's actually quite funny because this one is very similar to Sublunar in the shift. It also has that kind of pink orangey kind of main shift, and then goes into this really fiery yellowy kind of shift and almost like a green shift at the very end. It's really stunning. I really like this one, and I like this eyeshadow because you can use it very sheerly, which I actually have like, I found like almost like a fluffier kind of packer brush that I love using with single eyeshadows, and I just kind of fluff it over, and it kind of gives enough pigment that you can still see the base color, but it's not as intense as it looks in a pan, and that's kind of how I loved using this one. I actually only reached for it once that way and then once full on, but using it in that way I think I'm going to get a bit more use out of this one next month, but again, that is staying in. Then we have another the Pastel Roses eyeshadow, which is this one here, and that is the shade Prism. This is a really interesting eyeshadow. It has like a bluish purple kind of base, and then it has loads of different shifts to it. It has like gold, green, blue, purple kind of shifts. It's very dimensional, but unfortunately I only reached for this one once in the past month, so it's another one that I definitely have to step up my usage game on for next updates. Sticking with the one use, we actually have another one with just one use on the second row here, and and that is this eyeshadow called Hopscotch from Makeup Geek. It's this beautiful purple right there, and yeah, I only used it once. I just forgot about this eyeshadow, to be honest, but I think I compare this one quite a bit with Prism. I think those two would make a beautiful just 2 eyeshadow look, so I will definitely try that out next month. And yeah, and hopefully I can have a few more uses on it. I'm not hoping to necessarily roll this out next month, but if I can get like 6 uses total, so 5 more uses this month, that would be amazing. But yeah, we'll see how I go. So for the middle down here, we have a Sydney Grace eyeshadow in the shade Picking Peaches, and this one is a really nice kind of, yeah, peachy kind of shadow. Again, it looks like this. I am taking it out of the palette because this one is rolling out. I did reach for it 4 additional times for a total of 10. I had 6 uses on the total. It's been in for 3 months. The first month I used it 4 times, then twice, then again 4 times this month. So again, this is another one that is rolling out. Then lastly, we have this eyeshadow here, which is my biggest fail this month because I haven't used it at all. That is the shade Haystack, again from Sydney Grace. I just forgot about this eyeshadow too. I haven't been reaching for this palette that much, especially for the mattes, and then towards the end of the kind of month before my update, I realized that I need to get some use out of some of these to enable or to roll them out. So I kind of focused on the ones that already had quite a few uses, and the ones like these two here I just kind of neglected a little bit. So hopefully again I can get some better use of this palette next month, but that is another one that is staying in. So moving on to the Cleon eyeshadows here. The first one on top is the shade Chandelier, which is a beautiful eyeshadow. I love this one because you can use it on your lid but also on your inner corner, and it's beautiful on your inner corner. The main shift is like a tealy kind of green eyeshadow, and that's like again a really brightening on the inner corner, and then it has this beautiful kind of pink shift to it and a very kind of light beigey base. So it is beautiful and it is light enough to go on in the corner. So it was very versatile, and because of that I was able to reach for it 10 times in the past month. I reached for it on my lid as well as on the corner, and it was one that was very easy to incorporate into a lot of everyday looks. So my palette's starting to look very empty, but let's finish up with the last 2 eyeshadows. The one here in the middle is the shade Yellow, which has been in for 2 months. The first month I used this one twice, and I did reach for it 1 additional time in the past month for a total of 3. So this one is staying in. It's a beautiful eyeshadow, it's quite unique, but I used, again, similar to a lot of other things in this palette, I forgot about it, and then towards the end I just focused on the ones that I could get out this month. So hopefully next month I will be able to get it out. My kind of unofficial goal is to not have any eyeshadows in here for more than 3 months, which means that Yellow is one that I will focus on getting out for next update. Then at the bottom we have another Cleon eyeshadows obviously, and that is the shade Citron, which is one of the deep iridescent multichromes. This one has also been in for 2 months, and the first month I reached for this one twice also, but I'm happy to say that I reached for this one 8 additional times in the past month. This was beautiful to pair with a lot of the greens that I'm panning, and yeah, this is what the pattern looks like now. You can definitely see it's been used. I really love this eyeshadow. It's very kind of bright green, but I did use it in a similar way that I explained earlier. A lot of time when I just kind of buffed it very like lightly on top of the looks, but I also use it very full on. The deep iridescent multichromes are one of my favorite ranges from Cleona, and this one was really pretty as well. It goes from that really like bright grass green to like a purple, or like a purple blue. So yeah, a very pretty eyeshadow, but this one will be rolling out. So those were all of the eyeshadows in my palette, and this is what it looks like now. Let me start introducing the eyeshadows that I'm rolling in, and just for some perspective, my kind of goals or my rules for the palette is I just want like all of the top shadows here for the round ones are shimmers. I do try to have 1 iridescent, which I always place here, and then I want 3 mattes minimum, and then 3 Cleon eyeshadows. So let me talk through what I'm introducing. So for the first shimmer eyeshadow there on the top, I am rolling in this eyeshadow here, which is from Terra Moons, and this one is in the shade Lyra. I am very excited to play around with this one. This is a dupe, I believe, of Fairy Fire from Divina, which is an eyeshadow that I've been wanting for a long time now, and it's very beautiful. It has like a pale kind of yellow base, and it goes into like it's very kind of sparkly, but the particle size is very small, but it's so just glimmery, and it has this beautiful kind of green shift mainly, and then it goes into a really beautiful pink, and then almost like a UV kind of shadow, and I think it's stunning. Let me switch it out for you so hopefully you can see a bit more, but I'm very excited to play around with this one. And I think again this one can be used all over my lid or as an inner corner highlight again. So that is again Lyra from Terra Moons, and you can see the swatch of it right there. So you can see that there is a little bit of a base hopefully there, but that green shift there pops up really easily. And then I don't know if you can see, sometimes if I hold my swatch behind here you can see the shift a bit better. But yeah, it almost like disappears sometimes, and then it has that really vibrant green to like pink and then violet like UV. It's absolutely stunning, and yeah, I'm very excited to play around with this eyeshadow. For the iridescent eyeshadow I'm rolling in, it's another Terra Moons eyeshadow, and this is a classic in the indie eyeshadow community, and it is the shadow Red Giant. You can see it there, it's just gonna look white to you I believe, but this one has like a red to orange shift. And yeah, like I said, it is a cult favorite in the indie community. It has been for a long time, and I'm just very excited to play around with it more. Hopefully you can see there that it has like that kind of red shift, and then it goes into like orange gold kind of shift. It's very stunning, and yeah, I've heard really good things about it. I haven't really played around with it that much. I have played around with the shadow Ray from Cleona, which this one is a dupe of, but I just want to get to know this eyeshadow more as well, and just get to know this kind of shift a bit more, so that I'm comfortable maybe pairing it with different mattes and, you know, not just using it on my inner corner. But that is the next eyeshadow I'm rolling in. For the last circle eyeshadow, we're actually rolling in another Terra Moons eyeshadow, and this is the matte that I'm rolling in. This one looks like this. This is the shade Twilight, which is a really pale yellow. I don't know if you can pick it up really. It looks almost like beige on camera, but it's one of the pastel mattes, and this one is, like I said, a very pale yellow. I want to roll this one in because I feel like this time of year is where I reach for yellows the most, and I think this one will just be very easy to reach for, and hopefully I can get it out semi quickly. And yeah, I feel like it works with both of the eyeshadows that I rolled in before from Terra Moons. It's also one of my newest eyeshadows from Terra Moons. It was picked up in my Black Friday order, so was Red Giant and Lyra. So yeah, I just wanted to include this one and include something else than Sydney Grace, because in the beginning of this project I only rolled in mattes from Sydney Grace, so I'm trying to diverse the brands a little bit. So that is the next one. So as you know, the last two eyeshadows are Cleona eyeshadows. They are the ones that fit on the side, as you can see there. So the first one that I'm rolling in, I'm very excited to play around with, and that is one of the glitter type vibrant multichromes in the shade Empress, which looks like this. This one has like a coral kind of pink base, as you can see, and then that's the shift there, which is like, I don't know, it's just very stunning. I guess it goes into like more of a peach shift rather than a coral maybe, and then it goes into like a greeny kind of cool tone green shift at the end. And yeah, it's very stunning. I'm excited to play around with it a bit more, and this is one that I just want to get to know, and I feel like it's the perfect time of year to roll this one in. And I love this formula. It's very sparkly, very pretty, and that is the eyeshadow down there. Then the last eyeshadow that I'm rolling in is one that has been very hyped on YouTube and on Instagram and in the indie community in general ever since it came out, and I just want to play around with it a bit more. I have worn it before, but I just want to basically have an excuse to play around with it, but also to again see what kind of looks I like this eyeshadow in, and that is the shadow Mural. So Mural is this kind of, you can see there, like a minty kind of green base, and then it goes into this really beautiful vibrant orange shift, and then it also has like a bit of a green, like a gold into green shift. It is very stunning. It's one of their electric multichromes, which is a winning line in my opinion. It's one of their newest lines that they released. And yeah, this eyeshadow is very pretty. You can see the swatch there on my finger from when I swatched it out, and it's very stunning, and that is the swatch at the bottom. It's such a unique one, and everyone seems to be loving this one, so I want to just play around with it a bit more. And that is all of the eyeshadows that I'm rolling in. This is what my palette looks like now. Yeah, I think it's very pretty. I'm excited to play around with these new eyeshadows that I rolled in. And for my goals for next month, I do want to roll out everything that has been in for 2 months already. So what would that be? That would be the shade Galaxy Dust from the Pastel Roses, this one here. It would also be Haystack, which is this eyeshadow down here from Sydney Grace, and then Niello here. So those are my 3 main focuses. On top of that, I think I do want to roll out some more shadows. Maybe I'll focus on this one here, Lightspeed, and maybe Flare Star. And I also possibly I might be able to get out Red Giant in 1 month, because it is one of those kind of in the corner shadows. But yeah, I will see how it goes. The ones that I rolled in this month I'm not going to focus too much on, because I want to be more focused on rotating through all of the eyeshadows in this palette. But that is it for today, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what your favorite eyeshadow or single eyeshadow at the moment is. If you do have a single eyeshadow collection, let me know what your favorite single is down below. And otherwise, I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye guys.